And we're live. Welcome to the Know Yourself Revolution Live. My name is Grace Gravestock, and I am here to remind you today to know, love, and trust yourself. Why do I say that? And why is having fun so important right now? Well, let me tell you this. You are not getting any younger. Or maybe you are. Maybe you've found a way to beat time and beat the way that humans have been living for so long. And maybe you can turn back the clock. But what I'm finding is that I keep talking to clients who are in their, I'm going to say, later stages of life, post 50. Put me in the chat if that's you. Welcome if you're watching on the replay. Today, we're going to be talking about why having fun is so important right now. I want you to think about the last time you had fun. What were you doing? How hard was it for you to think about or remember a time when you actually were having fun? I've been in an inquiry this week to really consider what is fun for me and what brings me joy. So I want to ask you that now. Oh, I see we have some participation. Let me see who's joining us. Oh, okay. Moa from a Facebook group user. And okay, and Cassie, I know Cassie is joining us from South Africa. 52 years vibrant. Awesome. So what I was noticing, thanks Cassie for being with us today. I know you're joining us from all the way from South Africa. I'm so excited that we have friends and family around the world. Remember, family by choice. Even if you love your own family, know that there's a bigger family out there for you if you so choose. So I actually was talking to Cassie earlier, and we were having so much fun. This really inspired me, Cassie, when we talked about fun and how much fun it is to hang out with you. We've had a couple calls, and it's just been so much fun, and it brings me so much joy. And it made me think about, why is having fun so important? And I was reflecting on some other calls that I had with clients earlier today. And what I've been noticing is a pattern. After we hit 50, it seems like we are more and more interested in meaning and purpose in our lives. And I think by that stage, even if we still are finding it challenging, the whole survival thing in some way, shape, or form, maybe because of our circumstances in the moment. The reality is we all want to belong. We all want fun, and we all are here to enjoy the pleasure of life. And so I just want to encourage you to do something fun. When Cassie and I were talking earlier, she said, have some fun this weekend. I'm going to go spend some time on the water, and I'm looking forward to that. And I was really thinking about, what are the things that are fun for me? And I want you to think about that right now. And the reason I want you to think about it is because I want you to ask yourself if you're having enough fun in your life. And if you're not, why not? You may know that I have a 7-year-old, and I know that one of his purposes in my life is to help me not take myself so seriously. And so if you have children in your life, then maybe kids or maybe grandkids or maybe someone else's kids. I always imagined that I wouldn't have my own kids, and that I would just be that special aunt that would take the nieces and the nephews off for fun vacations and trips around the world. And I have been that, and I still am that, but I now get to help raise a 7-year-old. And he reminds me every day that time is passing. When I see his cute little face and I see how much he's growing every day, it reminds me that we do have a limited time on this earth. And so, we can work and we can do stuff. I mean, I've been super busy all my life. I can't remember a moment when I wasn't super busy. But if I don't intend for fun, like, it just doesn't happen. So if you're like me, I want you to make a promise to yourself today that you are going to at least think about what brings you joy today? What is it that you find fun? And then find a way to incorporate that into your life. Cassie says, "Oh, thanks for the inspiration. I think I'll go picnic at the beach." Yeah, lucky you, Cassie. You get to go to the beach. Not all of us are so lucky to be near the beach. But wherever you are this weekend, I want to encourage you to take some time for yourself. It's so easy for us to get caught up in pleasing others and doing all the things. We're busy. We're all busy. We all got to work. I was thinking about how today it seemed like there was a time warp I walked into. It happened to me like at least 3 times. I was in the middle of something. I glanced at the clock, and then all of a sudden I looked up, and it was like, boom, 30 minutes had gone by, and I'm like, how is that even possible? So let me know if that's happened to you today, because I'm really wondering. Like, I know there's some weird transits, and I know we're still in eclipse season, but was it just me, or did anyone else experience that today? I'm serious. Like, I looked up, and it was like 20 minutes just evaporated, 30 minutes. It happened several times, and that made me think about this whole thing of fun, how important it is to be present. That's been a challenge for me, honestly. Most of my life I've been wanting to just, be done with it and like check the boxes, be successful, do the things, and then move on. I was trained from an early age to be focused on heaven and the world beyond this one. And while I certainly see the world differently these days, I also appreciate that there's some real value in being here now. And so what I believe is that if you're here right now, and if you're within the sound of my voice, you are part of the Know Yourself revolution. You're here to play an important role in this shift that we're going through for humanity. We are in a time of rapid change. My thing is how to make change fun and easy. And I happen to have been blessed to have a career in professional change management. That's true. But the fact of the matter is, you have probably become pretty good at change as well. Even if you don't like it, most of the people that I talk to don't like all the change that they're going through. They tend to find me when they're in the middle of a health crisis or relationship crisis or a work crisis, career transition. And in fact, I talked to 2 clients today, and maybe this is you, and let me know in the chat if it is you. These clients are frustrated that they're not finding jobs, but the jobs that they're looking for are the jobs that were similar to the ones they had in the past that they weren't happy with. And they are being called to something bigger, something greater. And so I'm asking you today, what are you being called to? If what you're doing is not fulfilling for you, then why are you staying in it? We have a limited time on earth. Like, let's make the most of it. Why not enjoy life? I had a long conversation with a client today about the conflict that many of us feel between living our lives on purpose and also fulfilling the mundane aspects, like, paying bills and having a job and all of that. And my conclusion after my short time here, 50 years, is that all of these things give us opportunities to learn and grow, but it's in a very small window. We're just like grains of sand, or like a drop in the drop of water in the ocean. I mean, we are individually significant. I absolutely believe that if you're within the sound of my voice, you are here for a reason, and you chose to be here at this time to help the rest of your brothers and sisters through this time of change. You have an important role to play. And if you don't believe me, I can show you in your chart. Be sure to get your chart at whatsmychart.com. I can show you the reasons why you've had the challenges you've had. I can show you what you're here to master. And all of that is just for the purpose of helping you realize that you are not broken. No matter what other people are telling you, no matter what you tell yourself, about the flaws that you see, about the challenges that you face over and over again. Like maybe you see patterns in your life. Maybe you've been laid off multiple times, as I have. I used to think there was something wrong with me. And then when I learned about my human design, I saw what it was. It was that I'm a general in time of crisis. And when the crisis is over, they don't need me anymore. So it's not even personal. And that helped me to see my role as a change agent during this massive time of change for humanity on this planet. And so if you're within the sound of my voice, you are part of this. You are here to know, love, and trust yourself first. And then, and while you're learning that, I'll say, because I don't want you to hide out in your cave thinking that you don't know enough yet, or you're not good enough yet, or you're not masterful yet, so therefore you don't have anything to share with the world. That's absolutely not true. Your experience, your frequency matters, and that is how we're going to positively impact 5 billion people by 2025. It's through frequency, it's through alignment and collaboration, and the impact that you have on someone else, even when you just think about them. I'm learning more about this. I've been watching videos about it. I've been experimenting with people that are close to me, like thinking, like, you're laying next to somebody and you just like think certain thoughts, and then you feel how their body responds. And it's so crazy. Like I am becoming convinced that the thoughts that we have absolutely affect other people all the time. So it's kind of a scary thought in the sense that, oh my gosh, we are powerful. Like that Marianne Williamson quote, our greatest, let's see, what did she say? Our greatest fear isn't that, what is it? Our greatest fear. Oh, somebody's trying to tell me. Let's see. Hold on. Maybe somebody's got it. Cassie says, I love the idea of transitioning into being a change agent. Yeah, you are a change agent, Cassie. There's no question about it. So there's a quote that I was trying to think of from Marianne Williamson. It's attributed to her. It's actually a quote. A lot of people say it. Anyway, it has to do with our greatest fear. And our greatest fear is actually that we are powerful beyond measure, and we're afraid of our own power. And that's what I've noticed lately with some of the client calls that I've had. I'm meeting some amazing people that are so powerful. When I look at their charts, I'm like blown away. Wow. And yet they don't believe in themselves, and they don't recognize how special they really are. They don't recognize how much they matter. And if that's you, this message is for you. Thanks, Cassie. Cassie says fear of staying small, but actually how powerful we are. That's right. So we all have this, fear within us, and we fear that we're not enough, but actually we're powerful beyond measure. And so I want you to try this out. Like it's kind of a fun little experiment. If you sleep with anyone, or you're really close, it could be a girlfriend, it could be a sister, mother, could be father, son, like you could try it with somebody you're really close to, and just like be thinking about them, like really intensely while you're holding their hand or while you're touching them. And like, you have to do this over time. Like you can't just like close your eyes, grab their arm, and then expect to see this miracle happen. But like weave it into your normal experience. Like I want you to see this is so amazing, how powerful you are. I have been experimenting with how powerful our thoughts are. So my conclusion is they are very powerful. And I've been watching these YouTube videos about these people who have these near-death experiences, and they go on the other side, and they come back, and they have these conversations with God or whoever they talk to on the other side. And I've seen several videos lately about how they're talking about how important our thoughts are. And so I've been experimenting with it, and I'm telling you, it's crazy. So the bottom line is we absolutely are more powerful than we think. That's my premise. That's my belief. And so I'd love for you to challenge me. I'd love for you to try this out in your own life, see if it works, and have some fun in the process, because that's what every time I look in the mirror, I notice more gray hairs. I don't know if you've been in that situation too. I do know a lot of people that color their hair, and I have mixed feelings about that. Like, I don't want to have to do it, but anyway, the point is, it's just that when you look in the mirror and you realize how fast time is flying, you have to say, What am I doing with my life? Are you doing what really matters? Are you doing what you're truly here for? I am wondering if you are, and if you're listening now, I want to make sure that you ask yourself and then pause, close your eyes, and listen to the answer you get. Are you living on purpose? Are you doing what you're here to do? Are you being the person that you're meant to be? And only you know the answer. And there's not a right answer that you're going to get like an F on a test or something for. I mean, you know in your heart if you're being and doing what you're here to be and do. So I want to encourage you to give that some contemplation, not thought. I'm trying to get out of my head. Thanks, Cassie. Thanks, Owen. Thanks, Akeem. A lot of my friends have been telling me this lately, like, get out of your head, get into your heart. I'm really, I've been challenged by that lately, I'll be honest. But I'm working on it and I'm conscious of it. And you know what? The first step to change is awareness. So whatever it is that you're trying to change in your life, know that the very first step is becoming conscious of what it is you want to change. And then you start tracking it. This reminds me of something I want to share with you today. Track your intuition. Here's the other thing that I'm noticing with all my clients. Boom. So many of them are so intuitive and they don't trust themselves. And so I show them in their chart, like, look at all these different types of intuition you have. And this one is this one and this one. And they're like, oh, yeah, I do have that. But they didn't realize it. So what I'm wondering is were they intuitive all along and they just never gave themselves credit for it? Yeah, probably in most cases. But I think that there's something else happening. I don't have the book here with me, but I've been reading Richard Rudd's Gene Keys book, and he talks about this time that we're in and how we're actually going through some DNA upgrades. And so these are energetic upgrades. Like you could think of it in terms of like the eclipse, and if you're into astrology and stuff, you could think of it like that. Or if you have a Christian background, you could think about it in a different way. You could think about how maybe the Holy Spirit is coming upon us at this time and giving us wisdom, more wisdom and guidance. However you understand it. What I'm noticing is that I'm talking to people more and more lately who actually have a lot of gifts. Not just intuitive gifts, all kinds of gifts. But the thing is, those gifts don't fit in the box. Is that you? Are you one of these people who has special gifts that don't fit into a box? If that's you, I want to encourage you. The reason you're becoming aware of them, the reason you're not fitting in the box anymore is because you're not meant to. It is time to break out of the box. So I was looking up the word time warp came into my mind as I was prepping for this live, and as I was Googling time warp, what came up was this song called Time Warp, but by the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I had a best friend in high school, Shalom, if you're listening. She used to always want to go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I would just look at the posters and I'd be just like, no way, like I don't even know what that is. Like it's a bunch of weird people, they're all dressed up. Like I did not get it at all. But and I've never actually watched it. This kind of makes me think that I should watch it. But as I was Googling time warp, because I feel like I'm in a time warp today and I was trying to figure it out, I read about this song, The Time Warp. Put time warp in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. It's apparently a legendary thing. It's this funny song. And yeah, Cassie says, yeah, let's do the time warp again. Yeah, I think that's the refrain in that song. I if I remember my friend Shalom saying that, that's what it is. But the reason I bring it up is this. Apparently, this song, The Time Warp, it was developed during a period of cultural and social unrest where people were beginning to embrace individuality and nonconformity. The song's lyrics held a message that perfectly reflected this emerging counterculture. So isn't that interesting? Like, if you've been hearing me talk lately, you know I've been talking about the background frequencies and how they're shifting. I actually had a client call me yesterday, and she said, "You'll never guess, but I had a dream." And she saw the Lama, that he's one of the special guests that we had at the Eclipse event. She said the Lama told me that and showed me that it's not just the frequencies, the background frequencies that are changing. He showed me that it's also the colors. The colors are changing. So I'm not sure what that means. If you know what that means, please let me know in the comments. But it makes sense to me. Like there's a lot of things going on that are changing that we don't know and that we don't necessarily see. I'll say it this way. Some of us don't see, but others of us do. So what I want to encourage you to do today is I'm shocked that this Time Warp song that my best friend from high school used to love, I never knew anything about it. I just totally ignored it. I thought it was just a bunch of weirdness. But now I'm going to have to go watch it because it sounds like it's a Know Yourself Revolution kind of song because it's all about going from conformity to nonconformity. And that is what the Know Yourself Revolution is about. It's about you standing in your full power, recognizing who you really are, recognizing all the amazing, powerful skills and gifts and abilities that you have that may or may not be recognized by society, may or may not have been appreciated by your family of origin. Cassie says, oh my gosh, yes, the colors are different. Okay, Cassie, you'll have to come on the show sometime and talk about it because I do not know what that means. So here's the thing. I want you to think about this weekend, be thinking about what are your unique gifts? What is it that's uniquely fun and easy for you? When I was talking to Cassie earlier, I was so amazed. She's got some amazing gifts and it seems to come so effortless to her. And I was thinking about, my partner was talking about how when we were at the Eclipse event, I just, I did my thing. I got the booth ready and I was, helping with the 7-year-old and I was greeting people. I was doing all these things at the same time. And he's like, I could have never done that. But you do your MG thing, manifesting generator, that's my or express builder, that's my type. So those of us who are like this, we can multitask, we can do things. I don't even think twice about that. It's just who I am. And that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. You have gifts like that not everybody has, and you make it look so easy. And those gifts are meant to be used in service, but they can't be used in service to others until you use them first in service to yourself. You have to take care of yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to trust yourself. This woman one of the women I talked to today, oh my gosh, so intuitive. And she kept telling me stories that just demonstrated how intuitive she was. And I'm like, do you get it? Do you hear yourself? Like, you're amazing. And you saw this thing before it was happening. And she I don't think that she had ever realized how intuitive she was before this conversation. So here's my challenge for you for the weekend. And I got to go. I've got to get on a trip here soon. And you probably have things you're going to do too. Here's what I want you to think about. What is it that's uniquely fun and easy for you? Because that is a big indication of what you're here to be and do. And I don't care if society wasn't willing to pay for it. Like even 2 years ago, I went to an event last night, a bunch of entrepreneurs in Austin, and I was surprised at how many people were doing such really unique, clever combinations of things that you wouldn't think of putting together. And so it made me feel really excited because that's what we're talking about. Like, this is the time. This is your time. This is the time to come out of the closet, share your gifts with the world, and be fully supported. Like, that is the key message here, is that because the background frequencies are changing, all the boxes that you've had to feel like you were crammed into all these years, they're falling apart. You do not need to fit in the box anymore. You get to stand on your own 2 feet. Take personal responsibility for your life. Be in response to life for most of us, and just shine your light. And whether you get paid for it right away or not, like, it's a journey. I'll tell you, I've been on this journey for a while, and I've always loved my work, but I recognize that some work is more, it seems to have a better street value, I'll say, than other work. So I'm well aware of that, but I'm also aware of this. Because the frequencies are changing, you are going to be fully supported in being and doing exactly what you are configured, hardwired to be and do. So let that be encouraging to you, to give you some time to contemplate that, not think about it. Notice I didn't say think about it. I said contemplate it, because this weekend, I want to challenge you to spend a little bit of time just contemplating what makes you unique. Think about all the things that people have told you over the years, like, oh my gosh, how do you do that? You're so amazing. And you've probably just brushed it off like I have. Like, I don't even think twice about a lot of the things that I do because they're so easy for me. I take them for granted. But here's the thing, if it's fun and easy for you, there's a reason why you have been given that gift. There's a reason why you're here right now with that particular capacity. So it's going to be useful for humanity. And if you're within the sound of my voice, you're part of the Know Yourself revolution. I mean, you always choose, of course, but if you're choosing to be with me right now and you're choosing to listen to this message, then, oh, hey, Sherry, I didn't see you. Sherry says hello. Sherry, remind me where you're joining us from. I can't see it from here. Anyway, we have friends from all over the world. I'm so excited. Stay tuned for more introductions of people around the world because our family is growing and it's family by choice. And we are here to support, encourage, and collaborate with each other because when we stand tall, when we shine our lights, we help and encourage other people to shine their lights. And I had this vision one time. It was a moment of meditation. I'm not going to sound like it's not like I'm some great meditator, but one time I was trying to meditate and I thought I fell asleep, but I had this flash of insight and it was so amazing. I looked behind me and I just saw I was carrying a lantern with a friend and we were walking and I didn't know that we weren't alone. And I turned around and there was, I mean, millions, hundreds of thousands of millions of people behind me with carrying lights. And I felt like it was symbolic. And I felt like it was symbolic of this, the Know Yourself revolution. When we shine our light, it encourages other people to shine their light. And together we're strong and together we rise. This is our time. You are my people. Like, let's do this together. So let this weekend be fun. If you're going through change, let it be fun and easy. Repeat after me. I choose to make this change fun and easy. I choose to make this change fun and easy. It's so important to set that energetic framework for a new reality. You're stepping into it, but you have to start by choosing it. It starts when you choose. So that's all I got for you today. Let's see. One last comment from Cassie. Powerful words. Thank you, Grace. Here's to fun, exciting, and fulfilling times ahead. Absolutely. This is what we have to look forward to if we so choose. Now, on the other hand, if you choose for it to be miserable, if you choose to see the changes as difficult and painful and hard, then guess what? That's probably what your experience will be like. So choose today for it to be fun and easy. Choose today to experience it with family by choice and choose today to make some time this weekend to do something fun, whatever that is. Last weekend, see, I've been on this journey all week. You might have seen one of those little clips I put on YouTube. My dad called me and he said, your lighting is horrible. And, it was only a short little clip and it wasn't the best one. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for sharing. The purpose of me singing was not to show you that I'm an amazing singer. The purpose of me singing and sharing that clip was to say, I'm choosing to do what's fun for me. This is what lights me up. What lights you up? Because I know that when I'm full of joy, guess what? I can encourage other people to find their joy. And so that's my encouragement for you today, to find your joy, fully express yourself, and know that you're fully supported in being and doing exactly what you're here to be and do. Trust me on this and start stepping into your new reality. Start today. Together, we can positively impact 5 billion people by 2025 through the Know Yourself revolution. When we know, love, and trust ourselves, we can do this. All boats rise together through frequency, collaboration, and alignment. Thank you so much for being part of this journey with me. Have a great weekend.